on this. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 24th of October. So first things first, let's look at the news events that might impact the markets today. Let's just bring the news, let's bring the calendar up, that'll be good. Okay, so did it have anything yesterday of significance? Today we've already seen jobs. Let's just update this. We've seen UK jobs in now. The headline figure here not really too good. However, unemployment itself dropped down from 4.3 to 4.2%, so dropped down a tad. So mixed bag there, and we've seen the pound buying on that basis anyway, or being bought I should say. This morning, and through the day actually, we got these manufacturing services data. We got the start off with the French, German. Later in the morning we get the European figure as a whole around 9 o'clock, and then we got the UK at 9:30 and the US at 2:45. There's a lot of focus on these, so we could be in for a bit of a volatile morning. We'll see how things shape up, but that's the key risk in there at the morning for this morning. Now they could obviously go either way, so we can't second guess. Let's have a look at the markets technically at the moment though. What the euro has done now thoroughly, it took out the previous highs here. It's given us a more confirmed higher low, and it does actually look more on the bullish side. It doesn't mean say it will fly up there today. Obviously with all that news out there, it might stifle things. The German data has been particularly weak of late, and well, it needs something of a boost to get it moving really. Manufacturing data is been its lowest I can remember for years. Anyway, we'll see how it develops this morning. At the moment we're running into its weekly R2 already, so it's gone a fair old track, but as I said, it's taken out that high. Well, maybe we will see some sort of retracement. We've seen some divergences, or we'll be seeing divergences over these highs here. We've got an untouched daily pivot at the moment. It's there's always a target around about 75% chance of being hit. However, we'll see how things shape up this morning. First thing, we'll be waiting for the news events to come out before I try and do anything or take any new trades. I have a trade running, but before I do anything else, the pound dollar trying to break out its trend here. It's again looking better. Not as the euro's broken its prior high here, but this one hasn't yet, so just on the softer side of things, but it is it's getting a kicker already, running up towards its R1. Now if these hit the R1, react off of it a little bit, then start breaking through, well, there's a good probability we'll see it pushing up even further today. It's really that large surge we saw yesterday afternoon there that got these markets kicking. The US dollar yen, the yen's just not moving too much. All the other markets have sort of come off quite strongly. This is barely moving. It's in a right old tight state. Would have expected something more than this, but makes me keep away from it. The Aussie dollar, Aussie getting a bit of a seen the bid this morning. It's being bought, and well, it's already through its R1. There's a reasonable chance now it will push up to its R2 at some stage. No data coming out now this morning on this, of course, so it's free to run further. Dollar CAD, but there's not a trade for me to get into that Aussie. That's why I flushed over it quite quickly. Aussie CAD, well, we're starting to see it wanting to switch sides here a little bit. Well, certainly looking, it's been hanging up there for 3 days. Saw the overall volatility quite big, and well, the S1, S2, well, the S1, if we get hit that, as I said, it'll be the same as many of these other markets. A break of it subsequently could see us running all the way down towards the S2 area. Maybe a big hope today because of what it's already done, but it might ghost it and do it tomorrow. New Zealand dollar catching the bid as well, same thing. We've seen so much movement. I'm not seeing anything immediately in trades here. This one also has broken its R1 now, not touched the daily pivot. R2 could be on. It's looking solid at the moment. Got to be a bit wary of these solid moves just before 8 o'clock. Often we see retrace or just a pop and then a drop, so got to be a bit, say, wary. The US dollar Swissy was looking at this as a possible swing. It took a long time yesterday before it actually went into the areas I was looking at, and I've left it, and well, it came back in the afternoon. It had actually rallied into the afternoon there and has come off there, but I still think this has got further downside here. It's a risk averse currency, so with the unsettled nature of with Israel, etc., this currency can see, well, it's just, as I say, a bit of safety, and we could see more money flow towards that. Like the euro yen, well, it did actually finally break out there yesterday, and well, perhaps we'll see a continuation with something against the yen, but the yen pairs at the moment, apart from on the short term, I wouldn't really want to be trading these. Okay, other pairs, I'm currently sitting in a long on the euro CAD here. We'll see how this develops. Not looking brilliant at the moment as it starts retracing. In fact, the Canadian dollar's getting the strength at the moment, and we're seeing the euro just stalling, just waiting for the news. News could change it either way, but currently on a long on this, looking really back up to these prior highs somewhere in that region for targets on that, but that's rolling from yesterday. Euro New Zealand, well, this has been an absolute stalker, corking trade or movement that we've seen over the last week or so. At the moment though, it's just catching, switching around here, probably some divergence over the highs there, I would imagine, and again just breaking down this morning as we've seen the commodity currencies, that's the New Zealand dollar, the Aussie dollar and the Canadian dollar strengthen. They've all been sitting there pretty weak. Now, there's not a great deal I'm looking at right now. I'm going to carry on doing some further analysis in the trading room as I go through this morning. As I said, there's not a lot I immediately see here, so it's probably a bit of a patience game. I like the idea of the euro for further upside, but again, it'll be news driven this morning. Right, switching markets. Let's just have a look at gold. Gold, well, continues to shove up there. As I said yesterday, it for me remains with further potential upside, slowing up a little bit. Yesterday, not really going too much, chopping along there, but it's still, as I said, got the potential to continue pushing. Just looking for the signs of weakness. Yes, it's come back up to these prior highs, and this area right the way across here is a resistance level. So if it can carry on pushing through, it's got some scope. The oil coming off. Interesting. Yesterday I was looking at the sentiment of the oil, and it's weaker than it had been before. So the big money not really betting on the upside of it at the moment. So what we've seen with oil is the production just reduced by the producers. There's plenty of availability if they want to switch it back up a little bit. Obviously they've been trying to maximize the price they can get for it, but it seems, I know the US has been exporting more oil than it has ever, and it is possibly reflecting on these prices at the moment, but just flicking through there, it has got this ascending channel here. We could see further downside. Right, equity markets just briefly. S&Ps Well, the S&P's continued to the downside yesterday. We're just seeing a bit of a rally here at the moment. Dollar weakness may be aiding things. Here we've just looking at the shorter time frames, it's run into some support a little bit there yesterday later. Okay, so it did push through like most of the other markets later. Now a push through, a break above these highs here from yesterday could see further upside, but in the main we're still in this downward trend on this, and I wouldn't be keen in buying it as it sits at the moment, so it still looks bearish to me. The DAX this morning also catching a bounce. You see this is a monthly pivot that's sitting in here. It's already down right to its S3. It's catching a bit of a bounce off that, which is no great shock there, pushing up at the moment. But again, with just like the US markets, until it starts breaking these prior highs here, it still sits largely the structures to the downside. It could, a break of this level here, well, the structure's starting to change, but I wouldn't be a buyer on those at the moment personally. And finally the FTSE. So the FTSE is sold off again, getting a little bounce this morning. Can't build too much into this. It may just give opportunity for selling right across the board in these equity markets, these retracements at the moment. As I say, they're not structurally changing things. They're still the markets are still largely pushing to the downside. Okay, that's it for me this morning on the YouTube. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye for now. So in the trading room I'm still going.